When people talk about live action, people usually spam the word nerfed and how they're going to nerf a character in live action versus their comic selves and stuff. What if I told you Godzilla in live action actually is pretty flashy when it comes to raw power? Even when we're talking about old stuff, but you got to really dissect it to really understand his might, and you got to get past the old school special effects. Godzilla is a being that has a lot of media and has a lot of different lores or media to pull from. I want to talk about this specific one today. Let's talk about him. Certain things about Godzilla is just a constant throughout all forms of fiction. Like his size, for example. Like this version of him looks extremely large. Like, even these old school movies, they even have moments where they talk about his size. Like, we know as a bare minimum, he's strong just from how big he is. I mean, he's already, like, he's confirmed to be 60,000 tons, over hundreds of feet tall. Don't you love how stuff like this pretty much tells that even the people that write this stuff understand the different continuities? They even call it the three Godzillas, so let you know that there's different versions of the Godzilla being. They even put the years to show the different eras, you know. You see his height, you see his weight, you get the idea. I'm going to get into his strength a lot in this video, but not yet. Like, I just wanted to give you some idea of his versatility. Even though these are old movies, he's still pretty versatile. And when it comes to his physiology and different abilities. Like, in his lore, not only do they talk about his weight, but they talk about his different things he can do. Like, he has atomic ray, which I haven't even shown in this video yet, but you know, that's Godzilla stuff. So he has blast power. He has super regenerative power, so he can heal real fast. He can be wounded, but they said his G cells heal very rapidly. I mean, it's not like Godzilla has his like own doctor or something, so it would make sense for him to have some decent regeneration when he has like stuff like this happen to him. How else would he heal from these crazy injuries like this? He has to have regeneration. And he has, you know, the nuclear pulse, which is probably the omnidirectional blast where he shoots outward energy from every direction. Yeah, he does have blast power, atomic ray blast. Basically, energy projection. The reason why you might see his rays change color because he has like a normal atomic ray that he has a better version of the blast. That's why you might see it be blue, and that's why you might see it look reddish here. You know, the different reasons for the colors. There's some occasions where you can see energy go through his hands when Godzilla's hitting. He's an energy absorber type character, always seeking out radioactive material. That's why on occasions like this, when you see lightning actually strike him, his body absorbs that energy. Like in this occasion, it wakes him up. Like, you got occasions like this where Godzilla literally absorbs energy from a nuclear reactor. Like, yeah, he's an energy absorber type character, and it kind of powers him up. He can kind of buff himself and make himself stronger depending on the situation with this. Due to him being an energy absorber, this could be part of the reason why you might see some size differences for Godzilla, because he can actually mutate if he absorbs enough energy. So that's what makes him dangerous too, being more powerful and bigger than ever before. They even state here, stating he's gotten bigger. So if you see some slight size changes, it's probably because he's mutated, not mutated, different points in career or era in this era. You know, let's not forget that a super strong being that could briefly fight Godzilla himself, Godzilla absorbed his essence literally when he died. You see, Rodin's energy, that being that just dies energy, pretty much amped up Godzilla, reconstituted him, revived his brain, kind of giving Godzilla a permanent power up, just in case you're wondering how he'd be getting stronger throughout these movies. Yeah, this universe has actual telepaths. Yep, don't ask. Yep. When these beings that can go inside your mind, try to go in Godzilla's mind to lure him away, even though she's a psionic being, even though this doesn't have nothing to do with physical muscles or power or whatever, he seems to have resistance somehow to where she gets knocked out instead. But how strong is he? Oh boy. Is it really a shock he has the strength to literally lift up trains? I mean, the being is dang near the size of a building. Why wouldn't he be able to do this? Submarines. He can crush with his arms, just brute strength, just with his grip alone and such. I mean, his footsteps do stuff like this to the ground, for Pete's sake. You know those electrical towers you see downtown of your place or city? He can rip those apart. I mean, just being disrespectful, I already showed you his weight in this video, so he can lift over 50,000 or 60,000 tons just from his sheer size or weight alone. Just from him even being able to move at his size, that's a feat. But this still is just scratching the surface. He's constantly fighting creatures that are almost as size as him and slinging them. Yeah, I know these are old special effects, but yeah, he can literally sling beings like himself that have similar weight to him, over hundreds of thousands of tons probably. Even a mechanized Godzilla that one could say is even heavier than himself. I mean, look at the size of him. So one could say he's stronger than what he looks because he can actually lift up beings that are as big as him, or one could say heavier. And yeah, this mechanized Godzilla, this super weapon, has a confirmed weight of over 150,000 tons. So yeah, he can literally lift buildings. That's why there's so many occasions of him just walking next to our building, just destroying it as collateral by accident. Yeah, just casually breaking buildings apart by just walking. So with all his size and weight, and all this weight he can lift, how hard do you think his hits are? Like doing this to a smokestack and stuff. We've seen him actually tear out the chunks of a building just with tail swipes. I'm talking about completely level buildings with a tail swipe. Make a whole building collapse. Like, make that make sense. He can take down fresh buildings. Of course, he can take down damaged ones. And no, it's not just his physicals. It's the same for his blast power, which I brought up real early. About he can blast with crazy force, destroying vehicles, jets with his atomic ray. Yeah, just destroy buildings in general. You got occasions like this in his many battles when it comes to him lifting up beings and slamming them so hard they make crazy earthquakes, even implied to be able to shift some plates. He was slamming this being so hard, for example, with so much raw force that it was actually causing some eruptions or volcanic activity, eruption type stuff to happen.
It looks like a large volcanic eruption.
Yes, it is, sir, and it's right along the Philippine plate.
You can kind of get an idea of how strong Godzilla is. They compare Godzilla to the strongest weapons that mankind has to offer. Even back in these old days, humans, and we know in real life, actually had nukes. They even say it.
Godzilla's impervious to all weapons.
I mean, they call him impervious to all weapons. The greatest stuff that us mankind can shoot at him, he just walks through them type of blasters, lasers, missiles, guns, laser cannons. He consistently eats without even so much as flinching. In a weird way, you can kind of get an idea of his strength just by how durable his body is. There was something that was 800,000 tons that landed right next to Godzilla. His body had to withstand all of this BS. But to get a real understanding of how durable this being really is, it's actually theorized that Godzilla's cells themselves, known as G cells, because they dubbed it Space Godzilla, they have the same exact cells and stuff. Yeah, these cells have been swallowed by a black hole and survived and pushed out from a white hole. Yeah, stuff that can destroy planets. Black holes can definitely destroy planets and stuff. Things that threaten the solar system, that type of stuff his cells can withstand. They was theorizing on how Space Godzilla got created and stuff. It was because of Godzilla's cells going through a black hole, surviving supernova explosions. And that's why he went through evolutionary development much faster than expected. Like they explain it here, exposed to tremendous energies from explosions of stars. Like, this is the type of beings that Godzilla gotta fight. Let's just say it. The Godzilla I've been going in this video is definitely a planet buster. Let's be honest. Not to mention the black hole durability stuff and how his cells was able to survive a black hole. Their theory was and escape the black hole into a white hole. All that black hole stuff. It kind of adds up with all that planet busting stuff. I mean, you got little occasions like this that talk about Godzilla having the raw power to destroy the planet if needed, if he wanted, I guess. You got translations that Godzilla has to fight against this era. Depending on how you translate this, they say he can fight against a being that can destroy planets or stars, depending on how you translate it. Translated said he can even annihilate stars, but that's just my opinion. That can not only mean that Godzilla can compete against planet busters or even planet bust, but I mean, you guys know how small the Earth is compared to the sun. Like, that would put him way past planet shattering, if we're being honest, or his attacks will be potent like that. I have no idea why my Google Translate makes the words so small and make it out of order, but they talk about Godzilla can fight a being that can apparently destroy the entire Earth. Yeah, I know they made Earth small in this translation. I don't know why this translation thing's doing this, but yeah, all this planet busting and star shattering stuff, that's not even adding on to the fact that he technically got a permanent power by fusing with another being, basically. Not only absorbing him because he's an energy absorber, but actually boosting his base strength, even though he's already technically a planet buster, to where he can battle beings he originally couldn't battle before, to show the power increase. I guess when one can say Godzilla absorbs too much energy, one can say he reaches critical mass, one can say he becomes like this burning Godzilla. Basically, all the stuff I've already mentioned in this video, he can do better like this. So if his base state is possibly able to destroy stars or even ridiculously small planets like Earth compared to the sun, his burning self would technically be more destructive because whatever he can do, he's supercharged. And it can also get so bad to the point where it can actually cause catastrophic destruction to the planet if left unchecked. I'll let them explain it.
Shows that there's now too much nuclear fission in Godzilla's body.
Oh, nuclear fission is Godzilla's source of energy. The Baz Island incident has greatly increased the rate of fission. Godzilla will increase in power, and finally, he will explode.
What'll be the damage? What'll be the damage?
More than all nuclear weapons put together. A burst of energy unseen since time began.
According to our calculations, the planet's atmosphere will heat up and then explode, vaporizing everything we know.
Notice how they compared the energy would be more than every nuclear bomb combined. They say the energy he's going to produce is going to be unseen since the beginning of time itself. That's probably, that they're basically implying his explosion will be worse than any nuke. It's the biggest explosion since the Big Bang in this universe, apparently. When he's supercharged like this, like he literally was a threat to the whole planet. They literally say destroy the planet if you shoot at him when he's supercharged like this. He will explode. There's like too many occasions saying all this energy he has, he'll destroy the Earth. A good example of his strength is how he's able to always match beings like Mothra You know, other huge kaiju type beings and physicals he can match and sling and overpower. This is important to understanding Godzilla's might because beings this strong, like I'm talking about beings literally blasting Godzilla, like with their blast power, Godzilla can withstand these blasts. Beings that he has to compete against apparently can deflect a meteor that would destroy the Earth, like beings that he's casually taking blasts from. I'll let them say it.
Tell us, this meteorite, will it completely destroy the planet?
It will.
Do you think Mothra will do it for us?
Mothra will do it. The large meteorite is presently on its course to Earth. Mothra will fly out and try to change its course before it reaches here.
Yeah, so Godzilla's competing with a being, one of the many kaiju he has to fight that was going to deflect something that was going to destroy the Earth, something that massive, with either her blast or physicals, either or Godzilla can match her physically or with blast power, blah, blah, blah. But everybody that's just about going to do it, I can't go over every single era of Godzilla. He has too much stuff out there. I don't want to overcook y'all with stuff. Thought this would be a cool one, though. Did you know that Godzilla could easily destroy planets? Even one can say he can be in the black hole ranges, multiple planets. He can destroy larger planets, suns. You probably didn't know he was that strong, especially with the limited special effects. You could kind of underrate them because of old school effects. Which feat in particular did you think was cool? I want to hear your thoughts below. But before I get going, everybody, I gotta give a quick thanks to the donators real quick. It helps out a lot. Respect Godzilla, no matter which era really in live action. I'm glad you are enjoying your time on the channel. Make sure you check out the playlist on the channel to see other How Strong videos. If you like what this channel is offering, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys later.